And I said, well, let me go to the grocery store. So I go to the grocery store and I end up with a salad because it's good. It's got blue cheese, bacon, lots of green onions, which is good. I need some onions, tomatoes. Mm, mm. I also got dark chocolate hummus. It's so good. Oh, darn it. Don't do me like that. Dang. Ooh. Oh, damn. I'm getting onions all over my car. No. I'll be smelling that for a week. Hello. It's going. It's still going. Mm. And there's something about chocolate hummus that I just love oh so much. It reminds me of like pudding, but thicker. Like Jello pudding. Mm. It's delicioso. Mm. 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 How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are staying safe. It's been looking like it was going to rain here all day. I wonder if it's going to. Mm. It's Friday at 5. It's 5 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my black top, eating a salad. My glutes really, really, really are killing me. I hit the Smith machine, dropped it low, barely. I ain't doing shit this weekend, 'cause I ain't gonna be able to walk. Alright, now don't hit me. Don't hit me. 'Cause I'm telling you what, my back's gonna be hurting. I promise you that. This ain't bad. I mean, for $5, I think that's a little steep in my opinion. Maybe $2.50. But it was $5. Mm. Mm. I need a napkin. Damn, I knew I was a savage, but I didn't know I was that big of a mess. You wasn't gonna tell me I had nothing on my face? That boiled egg is sure good. I love me a boiled egg now. I'm like a meemaw. Give me 2 pieces of toast, black coffee, and a boiled egg, and I'm happy as hell. 100%. Boiled egg. Come back here. The tomatoes, I think they's a little old. But I put them down the hatch. God, I was starving, man. And I barely, like, I did a full glute workout without my cable kickbacks. I did my lunges, my weighted glute bridges. I didn't use the Smith machine for that. It's actually my new favorite. My ass went from so sad to she's glad in less than 6 weeks. It's absolutely insane. How, like, overnight, just like 5 or 6 workouts. It's crazy how muscle memory works. That was a lot of blue cheese. Like, a lot. I'm gonna be smelling like blue cheese for 2 days. Shit's gonna be seeping out my pores. Be smelling like penicillin. Like moldy bread. Like moldy bread. Oh, my nose is running. Where is that ranch? I hate to waste it. What else did I get? Oh, I got a yogurt. Huh. I might eat this later if I get some vegetables. Sometimes I'll get those vegetable cups and I can eat it with that. Chocolate hummus. It's so good. Mm, 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 mm. So I don't know why it's going to rain, but it's going to be in the lower 60s tonight, so that's good because I sleep well when it's cooler. It was so hot last night. Even at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was like 70 degrees. If it's 70 degrees, that means that it's 100 in here. Seriously, probably like 75. It's still hot. So I don't know what I said earlier about branches of the government. I don't know how many I said. I know we said Army, Navy, Space Force, Air Force, National Guard. But I'm finding onions everywhere. I had to go wash clothes too. I got that done. Let me just start with, there's the Army, the Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force, and Space Force. So let's talk about the National Guard to start with. So the National Guard isn't technically a military branch. It is an important component of the service. It's a combination of the Army National Guard and the Air Force National Guard, which both serve as reserve components of their respective branches. Each state, most U.S. territories, and the District of Columbia has its own National Guard, which can be activated by both governors and the president. When they are called upon, these part-time service members are ready to respond to reconstruction efforts, natural disasters, and some overseas combat mission. In 2020 alone, tens of thousands of National Guard members were activated to help fight the coronavirus and respond to other natural disasters. Well, if they responded anything like they're responding right now in North Carolina, they didn't do a very good job. So it says Established just last year on December 20th, 2019. The U.S. Space Force is the newest branch of the military. Similar to how we have branches of the military to defend the country by air, land, and sea, the Space Force protects the nation in space. Can y'all believe that, like, they verified that aliens were real? Did y'all know that? If you didn't know, yeah, newsflash. The government has acknowledged the existence of aliens. I mean, hear me out. I think that there is more than enough to support that there is other life forms among us. No doubt. This is really confusing for me because I'm like, and trust me, I've Googled looking if God does anything about aliens in the Bible, and he doesn't. So it's like, are they angels? Are they aliens? I don't know. But people that have met them don't sound like they're angels. They sound like they're hurting on you for science. So I don't know. So it says the Space Force's duty is to develop military space capabilities, acquire military space systems, mature the military doctrine for space power, and organize space forces to present to our combat commands, which are regionalized and functionalized military teams. This is all to protect interest of both the U.S. and its aliens and its allies in space. Previously, the U.S. Air Force Space Command was responsible for these duties, but since the establishment of the Space Force last year, the command's personnel are currently in the process of transferring into a new branch, and that will take several more months. How many people feel like this is going to be wasted money? Because I do. I feel like it's a waste of money. Complete waste of money. And dangerous, because you know that they're messing with ships that they have found before. I just spit on you. Ships that have crashed, and they're doing reverse engineering on them in order to remake that. Ships that have crashed, like Roswell and other, we find crafts all the time. You best believe that they have dozens of them. Aeronautical. God, I hope I'm gonna read this right. The Air Force protects the United States interest home and abroad. Originally in the early 20th century, the Air Force was created as a unit of the Army, as was known as the Aeronautical Division. It wasn't until 1947, after World War II, that the U.S. Air Force was founded as a separate branch of the military. Today, there are more than 332,000 full-time active duty members. And that's just in the Air Force. These service members work as engineers, medical professionals, lawyers, and computer scientists. So the Coast Guard is its own branch, and the Coast Guard protects U.S. waterways, ports, shores, as well as acts as first responders on our coast. So the Coast Guard is especially unique because it's not only a military branch, but also a federal law enforcement agency. The Marine, although the U.S. Marine Corps is technically part of the Department of the Navy, it's not standalone as a separate branch of the military. It does stand alone as a separate branch of the military. It wasn't always part of the Navy. Founded in 1775, the Marine Corps was actually an independent service in 1834. At first, President Andrew Jackson wanted to recognize and add it to the Army. However, after some conversations, Congress added it to the Navy, making them sister services from then on out. The Marines are often the first on the ground in combat situations, leading the charge when conflict arises. They also serve on Navy ships, protect naval and guard U.S. embassies. The Navy. The U.S. Navy is known for protecting the country by sea. However, even though they do that and do it well, they also serve on land and in the air. Within the service, members can choose to focus on one or more than 60 career specialties such as engineering, aviation, or medicine. A very famous elite group within the Navy is the Sea, Air, and Land Forces, better known as the SEALs. They undergo some of the most physically demanding military training so that they can execute the most challenging of missions. Their very specialized preparation consists of initial training, which takes more than a year to complete, followed by 18 months of pre-deployment training, ensuring SEALs are ready for just about any circumstances. Jesus Christ, I didn't know they got that much training. Hello, hello. What pets? What does... You talk about feet. No, it's hummus. It's chocolate hummus. And pretzels and chocolate are delicious. So the Army. Established on June 14, 1775, the U.S. Army is the oldest branch of the military. The Army was essential to the U.S. gaining independence because of the bravery of its soldiers during the Revolutionary War. Today, more than 2 centuries later, its members continue to defend and protect the country and its people. The Army serves the country primarily by land and air. However, it does have a marine presence. These sea suaves like to be called the Army Mariners. Within the branch, there are also several elite groups which receive specialized training, like the Rangers and the Night Stalkers. I did not know. I thought the Night Stalker was Richard Ramirez. I didn't know there was a whole branch of them. How scary! No, I'm joking. I didn't know that. I feel like I got food in my teeth. Probably because I do. I got chocolate hummus in my teeth. It says that the Rangers and the Night Stalkers are equipped to handle unique combat situations. Interesting. Now, this was written, I went to look to see when this was written, and it was written in 2020, so things have probably changed a little bit since then as far as the numbers. It says, with about 1.3 million active duty members, the U.S. Armed Forces is one of the largest militaries in the world. Together, the 6 branches work to protect and defend the country's people and interests. So those are the 6 branches, and as it said, the National Guard works together with these branches, but also they're their own entity. They're not technically a military branch, but what did it say? It says, yes, it says it's its own entity, which can be activated with governors and the president. Where did it say that they can act as law enforcement? I thought I read that. It's a combination of the Army National Guard and the Air Force National Guard, which is both serve as reserve components. Okay. The air's pumping. So now I want to talk about what FEMA is. Now that you know what the National Guard is, they're not. they're not a branch of the military, but they kind of are. Like they're their own entity, and they have jurisdiction. They have certain jurisdictions in certain areas. It said it lists a thing of places. It said the District of Columbia has its own National Guard. Each state, most U.S. territories, and the District of Columbia has its own National Guard. So, like the North Carolina National Guard, the South Carolina National Guard. Do you see what I'm saying? Is that how that works? Is it by state by state? Is the National Guard state by state? Yes, the National Guard is organized by state with units stationed in each of the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and some U.S. territories. That's salad and hummus. Oh, God. All right, FEMA. Waste of taxpayers' money. No, I'm joking. That's what Wikipedia started off with. It says the Federal Emergency Management Agency. That is literally the name. Federal Emergency Management Agency. It's literally in their name to help, you know? It's what they're supposed to be doing. Name. I knew something went right. I went and filled in the nicotine. So, FEMA is an agency of the United States Department of Homeland Security, DHS. That is the department that Mayorkas is over. Alejandro Mayorkas. That's his department. So that's the guy that said that FEMA is broke. So this FEMA was actually initiated and created by President Jimmy Carter. And it was Reorganization Plan Number 3 of 1978 and implemented by 2 executive orders, one on April 1st, 1979. Oh, and I guess the other one's 1978. The agency's primary purpose is to coordinate the response to a disaster that has occurred in the United States that overwhelms the resources of local and state authorities. The governor of the state in which the disaster occurs must declare a state of emergency and formally request from the president that FEMA and the federal government respond to the disaster. The only exception to the state's gubernatorial declaration requirement occurs when an emergency or disaster takes place on federal property or to a federal assist, for example. The 1995 bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, or the Space Shuttle Columbia in 2003, Return of the First, is a major part of FEMA's charter. The agency provides state and local governments with experts and specialized fields funding for rebuilding efforts and relief funds for infrastructure development by directing individuals to access low-interest loans in conjunction with the Small Business Administration. In addition to this, FEMA provides funds for response personnel training throughout the United States as part of the agency's preparedness effort. Something that I found interesting, it said prior to implementation of Reorganization Plan Number 3, 1978, many government agencies were still involved in disaster relief. In some cases, more than 100 separate agencies might be jockeying for control and jurisdiction of a disaster. So you had too many people trying to run things behind the scenes or trying to run things in general. And so that's why they came up with FEMA, so that there was one agency, one branch that we could send out and say, fix it, make it better, help people. And all of their personnel is supposed to be trained to deal with people during disasters. Do you think that that's happening? These people don't even know how to do their jobs. So it says one of the disasters that FEMA responded to was the dumping of toxic waste into the Love Canal in Niagara Falls, New York in the late 1970s. FEMA also responded to the 3 Mile Island nuclear incident where a nuclear generation station suffered a partial core meltdown. That sounds, I don't know what that means, but it sounds like not good. These disasters, while showing the agency could function, also uncovered some inefficiencies. Gee, you think? In 1993, President Bill Clinton appointed James Lee Witt as the FEMA director. In 1996, the agency was added to a cabinet rank. This was not continued by President George W. Bush. Witt initiated reforms that would help to streamline the disaster recovery and mitigation process. The end of the Cold War also allowed the agency's resources to be turned away from civil events to natural disaster preparedness. I'm sorry, y'all. Hello, Rebecca. Hey, Kat. Hello, hello. Yeah, it keeps getting worse. They keep updating, say, "Oh, it's getting worse. It's getting worse." Yeah, I said it was. After FEMA's creation, hold on. At the end of the Cold War, also allowed the agency's resources to be turned away from civil defenses to disaster preparedness. After FEMA's creation through reorganization and executive orders, Congress continued to expand FEMA's authority by assigning responsibilities to it. Those responsibilities include dam safety under the National Dam Safety Program Act, disaster assistance under the Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act, earthquake hazard reduction under the Earthquake Hazard Reduction Act of 1977, and further expanded by executive order blah blah regarding safety requirements for federal buildings and executive order blah 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 concerning the need for cost estimates to systematically retrofit federal buildings, emergency food and shelter under the Stuart B. McKinley Homeless Assistance Act of 1987, hazardous materials under the Emergency Planning and Community Right to Know Act. Jesus Christ, there's like too much going on, you know? Maybe that's why we're broke, because we're paying all. Like, I'm just saying, maybe we got too much going on. In addition, FEMA received authority for counterterrorism through the Nunn-Lugar Demisi Amendment under the Weapons of Mass Destruction Act of 96, which was a response to the recognized vulnerabilities of the U.S. sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway in 95. Congress funded FEMA through a combination of regular appropriations and emergency funding in response to events. So following the attacks of September 11th of 2001, Congress passed the Homeland Security Act of 2002, which created the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, to better coordinate among the different federal agencies that dealt with law enforcement, disaster preparedness, and recovery. Border protection and civil defense, FEMA was absorbed into DHS effective March 1st, 2023. As a result, FEMA became part of the Emergency Preparedness and Response of Department of Homeland Security, employing more than 26 full-time employees. It became Federal Emergency Management Agency again on March 31st of 2007, but remained in DHS. So apparently there was some mismanagement of funding back when Trina happened. It says that there was money missing. So it says, this was in 2005 during Katrina. It says emergency management professionals testified that funds for preparedness for natural hazards were given less priority than preparation for counterterrorism measures. That's when we were fighting the war on terrorism and the war on weapons of mass destruction and all of that. So they're saying that right before Katrina, all of FEMA's funding was going towards fighting against terrorism and not getting ready for a natural disaster once it happens. After allegations of mismanagement during Hurricane Katrina, the National Disaster Medical System, the NDMS, was transferred from the Department of Homeland Security to the Department of Health and Human Services by the Pandemic and All Hazard Preparedness Act, signed by George Bush in 2006. So FEMA actually manages the National Flood Insurance Program. Other programs FEMA previously admitted, oh, never mind. I just need to know what they currently do. I don't want to confuse people. So they actually manage the National Flood Insurance Program. But people can only get up to $41,000 after their house is total loss. In 2018, FEMA had an annual budget of $18 billion. And that's, and that is distributed in different states according to emergencies that occur in each one. Look at this. This was something interesting that I saw. Look at this. Look at the different districts. 1, 2, 3. Does this not look like the Hunger Games? I mean, they have to do this so that there's certain regional, areas. But like, yeah. Listen to this. Pre-disaster mitigation programs. Yeah, that's it. FEMA's mitigation is responsible for programs that take action before a disaster in order to identify risk and reduce injuries, loss of property, and recovery time. The agency has major analysis programs for floods, hurricanes, and tropical storms, dams, and earthquakes. It was literally their job to be on top of this and be on the ground when it happened. They have money that goes to predict these things. So it says FEMA works to ensure affordable flood insurance is available to homeowners in floodplains. Well, the mountains is not a floodplain. So that presents a whole nother problem for these people. I want to see what's the latest on. So it's literally FEMA's job to be out here in these streets. 100%. It was their job to predict this storm. And the moment that it happened, they should have been on the ground. This air is kicking. About to run out of damn gas. Let's see. So here on the FEMA website, it says the Biden-Harris administration provides more than $20 million to Hurricane Helene survivors' ongoing search and rescue. This was updated yesterday. It says a search, power restoration, and communication capabilities remain top priority throughout the East. FEMA has already helped thousands of hurricane survivors jumpstart their recoveries. This is unbelievable. The fucking lies, yo. I mean, it's bold-faced lies. 20 million in flexible upfront funding. It says more than 5,000 personnel from across the federal workplace are deployed, including more than 500 from FEMA. To date, FEMA has shipped over 9 million meals, more than 11 million liters of water, 150 generators, and more than 250,000 tarps. Who thinks that that's enough for multiple cities that have been leveled to the ground? I don't think that it's quite enough at all. So it says over 38 state and federal urban search and rescue teams are in North Carolina helping. As of today, these have rescued and supported over 2,100 survivors. To date, 40,000 people have applied for disaster assistance, and FEMA has paid out more than $6.2 million to survivors. No, y'all. I think that it's worse than they want to admit. Also got me a yogurt while I was in there. So the death toll is over 200 people, and it says swallowing whole towns and leaving thousands without power and drinkable water. The storm washed out hundreds of roads and damaged bridges. And in some places, it literally washed away the entire bridge. Residents in an already isolated community stranded amid widespread power outages and communication blackouts. When I say that the grid went black, the grid went black. There was no, you couldn't even get the FMY radio. You couldn't get nothing, honey. You couldn't even call 911. All systems down. When I say blackout, that even emergency responders could not get in touch with other emergency responders. It was a mess. Oh, Dolly Parton's vast charity has arrived to aid Americans impacted by Hurricane Helene. On Friday, out of Tennessee, well, she's a Tennessee native, announced a partnership with Walmart to assist with relief efforts after the storm. Parton announced a $1 million donation to the Mountain Bays Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to providing immediate assistance to Hurricane Helene flood victims. Way to go, Dolly. We love that. I love Dolly Parton, y'all. She's the best. See how long it's taking these people to get their money from FEMA. Somebody posted a link to an NC Legal Aid Helene Storm Disaster Assistance. It says, welcome to the Legal of North Carolina. Oh, you can apply through and find shelters. Wow, this is awesome. Let's see what shelters they got. Oh, it's the Red Cross. It's not a huge list of them. It's one of them, the Red Cross. So if you go to Legal Aid, it has all of these. Apply for FEMA, unemployment, apply for disaster unemployment assistance, request crisis cleanup. It has a list of stuff for legal aid. That's great for people that need it. Hold on. This was helpful. Thanks. Got denied for the same reason. Hold on one second. I applied for only emergency needs, and then I got denied for individuals and households. I have no idea why. I followed an earlier about how to fill out the application. I got denied for the same reason. Called and mentioned utilities and that we went to a hotel out of town to work and shower, but they told us to upload the receipts. May try to wait a few more days. So it looks like everybody's trying to get their $750, which is sad. Super sad. That won't even pay most people's rent for a month. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm seeing. What is going on? People are so annoying. Well, I'm about to go get my makeup off and get ready for bed. Same day, different shit. Or no, same shit, different day. I'm tired. I did my laundry and I washed my laundry. I gotta make my bed before bed. I gotta make my bed before bed. But I'm going to sleep so I can get up early. Oh, I went to the gym for 45 minutes. I don't know what I'm gonna do, dude. I'm freaking out. So YouTube, that's what I was gonna see if they freaking emailed me yet. They're scam artists. 100% scam artists. And good scam artists too, because they don't even have anybody for you to call to ask questions, to talk to if something's wrong. They do that intentionally. Oh, here's the Red Cross. Wow. What did I tell y'all? What did I tell you? Background check is required before becoming a shelter volunteer. They're not gonna let me volunteer at the Red Cross. They're in desperate need. It says, what do they say? Urgent need for shelter volunteers. Well, they let me volunteer. Trust me, I've tried to give my time away as a felon. They don't want it. All right, YouTube, where's my... You know what they're going to do? They're going to send me that PIN number, and it's never going to get to me because UPS does not deliver to P.O. boxes. So what do I do? And you only get 3 chances. After that, I guess your check just goes to YouTube because it said that you only have 90 days to do this. Well, I've been doing this for over 60 days. I've been waiting 2 months. It's pissing me off. Like, all of my bills are behind. I don't even have gas in my car, nor money to eat or anything else that I absolutely need. I'm out of shampoo. I'm out of body wash. I'm about to be out of toothpaste. I don't have anything. I have nothing I need, much less what I want. And everything could be taken care of if YouTube wasn't scam artist. Plain and simple. I've done set up 2 different bank accounts. It was supposed to be deposited in my account. They said they wanted to mail me a freaking PIN number. I've been waiting weeks. They sent me a PIN number, but UPS does not deliver to a P.O. box, and I have a P.O. box. So what do you do now? There is nothing to do. I'm going to get shit. All my hard work, they're going to keep 100%. Look at my track record. Look at me. I'm in the middle of a lawsuit over the same shit. I've exclusively dealt with people who keep my paycheck. This has happened probably 5 or 6 times in my career. So I have no doubt that YouTube will take my fucking check and I'll never fucking see it. And then they'll just cite, oh, well, we gave you 90 days to claim it. No, motherfucker, you ain't even got nobody to email. You're a multi-billion-dollar corporation and you don't even have anybody to email. Scam artist. Professional scam artist. Let's see. I'm going to go through them and look. Nothing. Look, this is it. This is what it says. Our records show that you still need to verify your address. A personal identification number was to your payment address 3-4 weeks ago. Yeah, it got there, and because I have a P.O. box, UPS did not deliver it because UPS does not deliver to P.O. boxes. How does their van lifers get their check? This is not an issue. This is an isolated incident. How do other van lifers get their check? They're directly deposited into their bank accounts. I have already set up 2 bank accounts. I've had 2 bank accounts, God, and they're still bullshitting me. And I've already requested a replacement, but it's going to get sent there, and UPS is going to say, oh, well, we don't have a tracking number for you. The exact same thing that just fucking happened. Somebody sent me $30 yesterday. It was $20 to wash clothes, and I put $10 in my gas tank. It's bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. They're scam artists. That's exactly what they are. Hold on. I'm already monetized. Why is it making me do old shit? It's verify my address that I don't have. And it's saying, this is what it looks like. And it's saying that there's my address. If you want to send me something, there's my P.O. box. But UPS does not deliver to P.O. boxes. So this is the issue. Do you see what I'm saying? Laundry detergent is $10 nowadays. Smart ass. I can tell that your mama still washes your ass and your laundry. I don't fucking understand. Hold on one second. It says that they sent another one on September 29th. But the first one was sent the middle of August. Nobody from UPS called me. Nobody said, hey, we don't deliver there. So what's going to happen is it's going to show up and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we can't deliver that. So I'm fucked either way. And you know how I know this is an issue? Because look at this. If the pen hasn't arrived, review problems with your address verification pen. If you've requested the 4th replacement pen and you still haven't received it after 3 weeks, go to our pen troubleshooter. That's how I know. These people, man, the fact that they say if you've requested a 4th replacement pen tells me that this is a huge issue for everyone. The fact that people have to keep requesting the same paperwork because UPS does not deliver to a lot of places. So sick of fucking scam artists. I really am. Like, it is literally my least favorite type of person in the world next to a pedophile. They should be right next to each other in prison. Pedophiles and scam artists. Seriously. Oh, God. I'm about to get ready for bed. Well, I hope y'all have a good night. And we will talk later. Y'all be safe out there. Good night, good night. Bye, y'all.